Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me for my review of the 2017 film, All the Money in the World, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Michelle Williams, Mark Wahlberg, and Christopher Plummer. So, this movie definitely went through kind of an unusual production history, All the Money in the World, but I have to say credit to Ridley Scott because this movie turned out very, very good in my opinion. As a matter of fact, I would say it exceeded my expectations, which is always a good thing, and I do highly recommend it. For those that don't know, the basic plot of All the Money in the World is basically a billionaire's grandson is kidnapped, held for ransom, and it's up to the grandfather and mother to get the boy back with some help. The only problem is the grandfather doesn't want to really part with any money and pay the ransom, and the plot kind of just goes from there. And it does go in some conventional ways, but there's also a few unconventional plot points to this film that I thought were interesting and worked pretty well. Like I said, the film is very well directed, especially when you consider the production history of the film. Everything seems pretty seamless, so a good job by Ridley Scott there. Also, credit to the editor, who did a good job as well. The acting in this film really helps, so the acting is strong all the way across the board, with Michelle Williams really being excellent. Mark Wahlberg solid too, but Christopher Plummer is the real standout to me. This is definitely one of the best performances I've ever seen from Christopher Plummer, which is saying a lot considering all the performances he's given. I really hope that he gets some recognition come Oscar time for this role. I think he's very deserving. He really makes his character very complex, interesting, and enjoyable when on screen. Um, as far as the plot of this film, it is very interesting. There's actually a lot going on, but it never really gets confusing, which is always a good thing. There is quite a bit of tension and suspense in this film as well. The film does bring some different styles. You can see some of Ridley Scott's visual touches here and there, and his storytelling style are evident in the film. But I thought all of that worked pretty well. The music is also really strong in this film. The soundtrack is good. The score is very good as well, and the technicals are solid, as you'd expect in a Ridley Scott film. There's some interesting cinematography as well for those who are into that. I do have a few slight issues that keep this film from being a great film, however. I did feel like some of the characters, especially the supporting ones, could have used some more character development. A few of the relationships in the film between characters seem a little bit strange at times, and I think they could have been more developed. We care about what happens because the situation is well written and well done, but I didn't necessarily care so much about each character individually at all times. It's not a big deal. It was fine. I just thought it could have been even better. And as it's the case in a lot of modern films, in my opinion, this film was probably about 15 minutes too long. Not necessarily the end of the film, but just the film in general. I thought there were a few times when it dragged just slightly, but none of this stuff is a big deal. Overall, All the Money in the World is an excellent film with fantastic performances, and I do recommend it, and I'm going to give All the Money in the World a 4 out of 5. Definitely a recommendation for those who enjoy interesting, solid, well-made films. And like I said, I do hope that Christopher Plummer especially is recognized during award season for his performance. So 4 out of 5 for All the Money in the World. And as always, thank you very much for watching.